like to call to order this meeting of the Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners. It's our regular meeting, August 14th, 2025. We did meet in executive session to discuss matters of personnel. And I would note that Commissioner Engel is attending remotely. And yep, there he is. And excused our Commissioners Cross and Rothrock. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. And if I could, I'd like to request that Jackson Yannick lead us in the pledge tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks, Jackson. That was awesome. Good job.
Your voice has changed.
Begin with the petitions, complaints, suggestions from citizens. Anybody wish to address the board tonight? Please come forward and try to state your name and address and try to keep your limit or your discussion to 3 minutes. Good?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Doug Hasenbein from 2507 Union Green Way, apartment 204, zip code 17110. Obviously, I spoke at last month's meeting. Again, just wanted to briefly give some remarks about Veolia water. I know the brown water and sediment situation is a little hit and miss. Some people are fine, some people continue to get it. Obviously, I'm one of those who continues to get it. I know the township doesn't have regulatory authority. I just ask that any contact you can maintain with Veolia, it's very much appreciated. I saw the announcement. They're going to do some public forums. Hopefully that'll lead to a bigger correction. I just want to briefly state here, my case just Sunday night through Tuesday night, I was going through brown water again. Monday night, did constant flushing in my tub, did not improve, wiping sediment out. Called Veolia a total of 3 times, among plenty other times these past couple months. Did eventually get a call from leadership at the Mid-Atlantic division of Veolia, so that was productive. I do just want to report that tonight my next door neighbor still having problems, and on the Susquehanna Township neighbors Facebook page, I made some people aware of the meeting tonight. From Ward 2, resident Amy Soudery, she's, I believe, on Laurel Ridge Drive. She said, I can't make it, but please state my name. She said, I'm having brown water past 2 days, so I'm just following through with her request from Ward 2. And thank you to Commissioner Napper. I know he shared that comment with Commissioners Lynch and Engel for Wards 4 and 7 with that tenant in that apartment complex a mile south of me. I just wanted to share that because I think that comment really summed it up well. She's continuing calling, not getting any results, so I thought it illustrated it well. And just final point, I don't know if anyone knows this now, or maybe if someone could get back to me. At my complex at the corner of Linglestown Road and Progress Avenue, my property manager's been trying to figure out if they flush any of the internal hydrants or the one external hydrant just outside the property, if that'll make a difference. We've learned that the hydrant color may make a difference, and also some documentation from Veolia saying if there's only a red bonnet and a different color, that may mean the main is less than 6 inches. Veolia didn't clarify that, so I don't know if anyone knows if there's only a red top, if that's restricted and can't be used for fire, if it's a smaller water main. So if anyone can let me know at a later point, that's fine, but I just wanted to leave with that then. And that would be it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
After this, you might want to huddle with our fire marshal, George Streese.
Okay.
Back there with the stellar white hair.
Great.
Silver.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
He only got that way from dealing with Viola water, I believe.
Yes.
Did you want to speak to that?
If you'd like.
Sure. If you would, please.
Sure. It'd be of wide interest, I think.
So all the fire hydrants in Susquehanna Township are either red or they're yellow. It doesn't matter if they were painted way back in the day in 1776 or 1976, they started painting them different colors. All the Viola hydrants are 6-inch or larger mains. They're all red. All the yellow hydrants are Capital Region water, and they're, in theory, supposed to be 6 inches or larger. So what the bonnet colors are in Susquehanna Township does not designate the gallon permitted flow. In other jurisdictions throughout the state and the country, they change. The water departments aren't in favor of marking a hydrant that's 1,500 gallons per minute, and that's based on other issues within the water systems. So that's where we're at with that. So if it's black, it's coming from DeHart Dam and it's non-potable water. We've used those in the past. They really don't want us to use them unless it's absolutely emergency.
Excellent. Thanks, George. Anybody else? Renee?
Hey guys,
Hello.
Renee Nudie, 3653 North 3rd Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I got a couple of questions because it seems like I'm involved in way more than I should be at my retired age. So I see a conflict with this whole school issue and our taxes and the way this township is growing. I assume we have a plan or some benefit we're getting from allowing all of these new buildings to be built. And most of which, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, are rentals. So if someone could just fill me in on what we are getting as a township, because honestly, I'm hearing the water. I see the roads, I drive them every day. The traffic on Lingelstown Road is horrendous since in the last 4 years. Everywhere else also. So I'm wondering what are we getting? What are we doing here? Because now we need a new school, because we have new buildings, we have new renters coming in, they want to change the EITC. And I don't see one not having impact on the other. So I have an interest in what our plan is as commissioners to figure this out.
Thank you.
So that's question one. No answers off the top of your heads?
Well, ma'am, it's public comment, not public question time.
Okay.
We try not to engage.
No,
appreciate that.
that's fine, but your comments are listened to and the commissioners sometimes respond, but if you would just keep going.
Okay, should I do a right to know request for that information? Because I can, I dropped some off this morning. but-
You can do whatever right to know that you'd like, and they'll be responded to, but if you would just keep providing your questions.
Sure. Okay, so that's the plan. I understand that I missed the last meeting because I was away, that there is some action on the driveway ordinance, the parking ordinance within 3 feet of the driveways, which was my original ordinance for original reason that I attended a meeting. So I just wondered where we are with that. I'd like to also know, the last time I was here, the solicitor who was sitting in that seat told me that the reason we can't correct buildings that were illegally changed to house more than one family was complicated. Well, I recognize that I am not a lawyer. However, I'm not
Lucky
doing
you.
it either. So I would like to know what I need to do to find out why that is so complicated, because it is not a state issue. It is a township issue. And they normally do not intercede on our township issues with zoning. So-
I'm happy to talk to you after the meeting.
All right, I will stick around. And what's my last one here? Oh, I'm looking for information on that school. What is the conservation district reason that we have to change zoning next week at the school, for the school, to the new school to be built? I can't seem to find out what its designation is. So, I guess it's questions, but,
I understand.
and I'm happy to hang around.
Great. Look forward to talking to you.
And I think that's
Yeah,
it.
Mike, you can address that third issue as well, I suppose.
I will address it after the meeting.
I'd like it to be on the record too when you address it. I mean, that's.
Well, that's not going to happen, but I will address it with you, absolutely.
It was on the record 3 weeks ago.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will look at those minutes.
Jim Don was sitting in that seat, and he was packing.
Thank you, Frank. I will
All right.
look back at the meeting minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I noticed we have some members of Ridgeway Church in the audience. They may want to utilize this time.
Sure, thank you. Sam Faber, I live in the township here, but I'm here to represent Ridgeway Community Church at 525 North Progress Avenue here in the township. So I'm here to request that the Susquehanna Township be a co-applicant on a gaming grant application that we're in the process of making. I really want to thank you for the opportunity to speak at all. This is our first time through this, and I made some assumptions that were incorrect and missed the deadline, but our information is in, and so thank you. The background for this, we have a large property at the corner of Progress Avenue and Elmerton Avenue across from Susquehanna Township High School. We're a really small congregation, though. We only have about 50 active people for all that land and a big church and buildings. We've always been community focused, but we've recently looked at our mission, rewritten it, and expanded our community focus and all the projects that we're doing now. Our goal really is to make better use of the land and the church facility in the service of our community. There's a lot going on at the church right now. We've worked with and reached out with the school district. We've reached out to you folks in the township and are looking at some opportunities with Parks and Recreation to serve the community. We're working with Hannah Pantry across the street in food and clothing distribution. We run a monthly pancake breakfast for their clients and anybody else, a drive-through at the church. We're working with Brethren Housing Association. We've got a preschool that we're running, and we have a blessing box outside the church in the parking lot to provide food for those who need it. So here's where we're going with here's where the concrete path comes in. So we sold the parsonage and a parcel near it in order to shore up the finances of the church and provide us some additional funds to do this community service. Part of that, however, necessitated putting in a sidewalk on Elmerton Avenue. So our initial reaction to this was that it was a major financial hardship and that we'd be giving away a good bit of the money that we just made. However, after rethinking this very quickly, it's still a financial hardship. But we need this sidewalk. The sidewalk's an important transportation vehicle for the citizens in the communities around us, for the students across the street, for Hannah's Pantry, and so on. The benefits are protean. It's a major link in the pedestrian and greenway plan here in the township. It's a hub that connects all 9. It's part of a hub that connects all 9 of our wards with the capital area greenbelt. It facilitates access of the students and the Hannah's clients, township residents, to the surrounding community and the services, including our church. The bottom line is that building the path that the community needs and that we need to serve the community is a real financial hardship. So we need your help. We've already applied for a state grant, which we did not get, and we're hoping that you'll be able to help us. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Pastor Eller, did you have something to say?
I'm Nelson Eller, the pastor of the church. I'll make it really short, just to say we realize that we didn't follow the process that we should have because we're new to this, and our apologies, but thank you so much for this chance to give us some grace, and we hope that this will help us complete the project that both we want done and you all want done. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'd like to acknowledge Carrie Wilson, former member of our Planning Commission, who knows the rules very well. Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else wish to address the board? All right, hearing none. Move on to approval minutes from July 24th, 2025.
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the July 24th, 2025 workshop meeting minutes.
It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Polona. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First up, actually, is the Ridgeway Community Church of the Brethren in Dauphin County Gaming Grant Co-Sponsorship. We just heard from some of the leadership of the church, and the board would entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll move to approve co-sponsorship of the application.
And I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Good luck. It's going to really improve safety in the township. We appreciate your efforts. Next up is our strategic management planning process, and Manager Eberly will give us a brief update on that.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, STEMP was due to be with us. They've done a lot of preliminary work. There's more work that they need to do. So we are rescheduling their presentation to September to allow for just more time to get the draft completed and have more information included in that. But again, they've done a lot of work, and we're all excited to hear what they have to say. Just need a little more time. So we'll see them in September.
Sounds good. Thank you. Next up is a public hearing, and this is on the, discussed at the last meeting, the Susquehanna Township Police Pension Plan Amendment to change provision for cost of living adjustments for employees hired on or after March 26, 2020. Mr. Miller?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is time and place set for a public hearing on ordinance 2506 of the Township of Susquehanna, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 1, Part 6, entitled Susquehanna Township Police Pension Plan, to amend the plan, change the provisions for cost of living adjustments for employees that were hired on or after March 26, 2020. The ordinance is been suggested by our actuary, who is also responsible for the maintenance of the police pension plan. And the purpose of this ordinance is to bring it in line with the last collective bargaining agreement that we negotiated with the police association. So this is a bit of cleanup that has to be done. The provisions of the collective bargaining agreement made clear that employees hired after March 26, 2020 would have a particular cost of living adjustment that's outlined in the ordinance, which has been published. A copy of the ordinance has been available to the public, and I will also make, as part of the record, and have the township manager make the publication notice and the ad for the ordinance part of the record, and give to Ms. Miller, the stenographer for this hearing. But in any case, this ordinance does not significantly change the cost of the pension fund. It merely brings it into compliance with what has previously been negotiated. It also adopts the deferred retirement option plan, the DROP plan, which is another housekeeping matter which had to be attended to. So for all of those reasons, it's appropriate to adopt the ordinance and clean up the pension ordinance as it stands today. Are there any questions from the Board of Commissioners? Hearing none. Are there any questions from the public?
What date did you say the hearing was?
The hearing is scheduled for tonight. The police pension plan was adopted in 2021, I believe, and so this is catching up and cleaning up that document, ma'am. Do you have any other comments?
No, just clarifying that the hearing is now?
Yes.
Oh.
Correct.
You're in it.
Yes, thank you. Anybody else have any comments for the record? Going once, twice, thrice? Hearing none, Mr. President, I would recommend closing the hearing at this time, and the board can take a vote when appropriate, but I recommend the adoption of the ordinance so we can bring our police pension plan in compliance with the collective bargaining agreement as recommended by the actuary.
All right, and before we end the hearing, I believe you did say this, but it was properly advertised?
Properly advertised, and I've moved to make the advertisement part of the record of this hearing.
Very good. All right. Any comments by members of the board before I close the meeting? The hearing is now closed. Resume our regular meeting. Okay.
We don't go to the hearings.
So we'll go forward with the consideration to adopt. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Moved and seconded to adopt the changes outlined by the solicitor in the previous hearing. Any other comments or questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, reports committees, buildings and grounds. Both Commissioners Rothrock and Cross are absent. Do you have anything, Ms. Eberly?
We did meet to discuss the upcoming renovation of the police building. And we satisfied, a big question was how we handle that through either the bid process or doing co-stars. And I think we've come up to a resolution that will hopefully move the project along in a more expedient manner.
Okay. Very good, thank you. Budget and Finance, Commissioner Sanderson.
Yes, we have our first scheduled committee meeting, I think, on the 18th. That's it.
Next week?
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Public Works, Commissioner Knapp.
Yes, Mr. President. In the month of July, the Public Works Department performed potholes and patching repairs on Schoolhouse Lane and Edgemount Road. The Public Works cleaned ditch lines and performed milling and paving along Paxton Church Road. And as a final note, the Public Works Committee continues to review the 5-year capital improvement program for paving, sewer, and MS4 projects. And this ends my report, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Hissero. I'm sorry, Commissioner Barczyk. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next yard waste pickup by Penn Waste will be Saturday, the 16th. And just a note for residents who may not be aware, if you have a large item that you need picked up by Penn Waste, such as a piece of furniture, you need to call and schedule that pickup, or you can do it online on their website. There is a button you can click and just fill out a simple form, and then they actually schedule the pickup because they need to make sure they have adequate staffing to be able to move the object and adequate room in the truck to be able to collect it. So just a tip. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Admin and Personnel, Commissioner Napper.
We did meet this week, admin personnel, but I have no report at this time, sir.
All right, thank you. Police, Commissioner Engel's not here. Unless you have something on your phone, Fred?
No report.
Thank you. Fire and EMS, Commissioner Hissero.
Yes, Mr. President. The Public Safety Committee did meet in July. I will note that as part of the Public Safety report later in this meeting, there's a pretty detailed report from fire, so I'm not going to go through all the numbers and whatnot. They're there. I did want to just highlight a couple points, though, that as part of our meeting last month, we discussed the need to aggressively pursue additional grants that either support the additional apparatus, fire trucks that we need, or fire station. We're looking at county, state, and federal opportunities. Our regional federal grant for $2.2 million through the Council of Governments closes out in November. We're waiting on notification on our outstanding assistance to firefighter grant application with DHS. The Viola water issue was also discussed, which I just flagged because, discussions here earlier this evening. And the Progress Live-In Academy ends tomorrow evening. And there should be a full report coming on the first half of the 2026 fire statistics in the near future. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Very good, thank you. Planning and zoning, do you have anything, Commissioner Barcheck?
I do not, unless is there something, Mac or Manager Everly that we should report out?
I think Mac Breach will give us a little.
Okay.
But thank you, Mac.
Thank you, Mac.
Good evening, Commissioners. I actually have Commissioner Rothrock's report, so I'll just.
Awesome.
So the Planning Commission, on the 28th of last month, there were 4 items on the agenda. 4224 Kirkwood Road, which is a minor lot consolidation plan, which calls for the consolidation of 3 lots and the construction of an accessory garage for storage. With related site and access improvements was recommended for approval and is on the agenda for consideration tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Also on the agenda at the Planning Commission meeting on the 28th was Susquehanna Union Green Phase 2G. This is a final land development plan to construct an OIP, Orthopedic Institute of Pennsylvania facility on Union Greenway. And as a part of the larger Union Green development, OIP will actually be moving their offices from Powers Avenue in the Union Deposit Road area to Susquehanna Union Green. That was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission, and that will likely be on the Board of Commissioners agenda for the 11th of September. There was also the Stanley Drive and Edgemont Susquehanna Township School District rezoning proposal that was reviewed by the Planning Commission preliminarily. The Planning Commission chose to table the plan to allow for comments from the Dauphin County Planning Commission and additional public comments. That will be on the Planning Commission agenda for the meeting on the 25th of August. Lastly, the Planning Commission looked at a proposed zoning ordinance amendment for tobacco-based uses, which would regulate smoke shops, tobacco stores, and smoking lounges. This item was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission and is on the agenda for the board tonight to authorize a public hearing for adoption. The zoning hearing board meeting on the 6th of August was canceled, and the zoning hearing board meeting for September will also be canceled. That ends Commissioner Rothrock's report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mac.
Thanks, Mike. School Board Liaison, Commissioner Falona, do you have anything?
Yeah, just announcement on the next school board meeting will be on Monday, the 18th of August at 7 p.m. at the school district office. That ends my report.
All right. Authority, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President, Susquehanna Township Sewer Authority employees cleaned, vacuum, and inspected inlets. Staff completed 2 inlet repairs and installed a new pipe on Wading Spring Lane. 900 feet of sewer and 1,500 feet of storm line was televised throughout the township due to the heavy rainfall. And as a final note, Mr. President, staff wrapped up televising the storm lines and the Edgemont development and performed a mid-year pump station inspections. This ends my report, sir.
Excellent, thank you. Shade Tree, Commissioner Cross is not here. Did you have anything, Jody?
Yeah, just briefly that it appears the Shade Tree Commission has all teed up their free shade tree planting, so they should be doing that, I think in mid-October, I think somewhere around October 13th.
Okay.
So we can look for those improvements in the community.
Excellent, thank you. Communications.
I believe we have a newsletter coming out soon. Is that correct? Do we have a date for that?
I think the deadline was yesterday.
Okay.
Yep.
So look for that soon in your mailboxes.
All right, thank you. Human Relations, any report, Fred?
Nope.
All right. Parks and Rec, Fred?
The RAC is busy on the 6 Park Master Plan, and we encourage the public to attend the next meeting of the RAC this coming Tuesday, the 19th of August at 6 p.m. here at the Township Building. That ends my report.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to ordinances, resolutions. First up is Resolution 25R10, which would require the adoption of the Emergency Operations Plan of Dauphin County. Martin.
Mr. President, it's just a matter of housekeeping, something we do every 2 years, so that we are in compliance with our teammate in emergencies, Dauphin County.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And next one up is asking for the consideration of Resolution 25R11, which would similarly adopt the hazard mitigation plan of Dauphin County.
This follows that, passed. I would just point out, this allows us to remain eligible to receive pre-disaster mitigation grant funds and funds made available in the wake of federally declared disasters. And it is required by participating municipalities to document their hazard mitigation planning process, identify hazards, potential losses, and such. And actually did receive an email this afternoon from the county wondering to tell the municipalities when we're going to adopt. So it has my recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Next up is authorization to schedule a public hearing on the zoning ordinance text amendment for tobacco-based uses. Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Provided with the agenda is a copy of the proposed ordinance amending Chapter 27 zoning to add regulations for tobacco-based uses. This has been previously in front of the board, I believe, in June, May or June, and numerous revisions have been made based off of commentary from both our Planning Commission and the Dauphin County Planning Commission. At their meeting on July 27th, our Planning Commission recommended approval of the ordinance amendment. Additionally, we have also received a recommendation of approval from the Dauphin County Planning Commission, subject to minor comments which have been addressed. As such, we are asking that the board schedule a public hearing on this item for September the 11th. And just briefly, I'll run through some of the changes that have been made since this was last in front of the board. There have been some minor typographical and consistency changes made. Some small edits of that nature. I think most critically, both smoking lounges and smoke shops, those uses have been removed from the industrial general district as special exceptions. That was based on some commentary from the board and both our planning commission, because there are properties in the industrial general district, especially along that 6th Street corridor, where these uses really wouldn't be appropriate. So both smoking lounges and smoke shops, they are now proposed to only be permitted by special exception in the commercial highway zoning district. So that's probably the most substantial change that has been made since it was last in front of the board. There were some modifications of use requirements, hours of operation, signage, things of that nature for these uses that were recommended by our Planning Commission and the Dauphin County Planning Commission that have been integrated into the ordinance. And unrelated to the core tobacco-based focus of this ordinance, and this portion of the ordinance has not been in front of the board yet, but one sentence of language was added to this ordinance that would prohibit the location of accessory structures in the front yard. This is due to a kind of a wide open hole we had in our zoning ordinance that was shown based on a recent zoning hearing board case with Capital Region Water, where we don't have anything prohibiting accessory structures to be located in the front yard. We have language prohibiting accessory buildings, sheds, things of that nature, but structures, equipment, solar panels, we don't have anything prohibiting those in the front yard. And this is just a Band-Aid consistency change that has been added to this ordinance. Other than that, it's pretty much the same ordinance that was in front of the board previously. The spirit is certainly the same. I think this would be beneficial to the township. I believe the Planning Commission certainly agrees on slowing the proliferation of these facilities, especially along our corridors. So again, we are asking that the board schedule a public hearing on September 11th for adoption of this ordinance. And I'm happy to take any questions the board may have. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'll move for the approval to advertise for a public hearing on September 11th.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Borchak. Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Mac. Next up is Resolution 25R12. It revisits the fees charged for amusement devices. Mr. Breach, could you fill us in on this?
Certainly, thank you, Mr. President. Provided with the agenda is a memo outlining a proposed change to the schedule of fees for the township. This proposal would revise the annual fee charge for amusement devices from $200 per machine to $400 per machine. This change is proposed due to increased permitting, review, and inspection requirements of amusement devices in the township associated with recently adopted ordinance 25-05. Tonight we're requesting that the board approve resolution 25R-12 to approve this change to the fee schedule. So currently, this is essentially this would just double the amount of double the fee is charged for these amusement devices. As the board knows, ordinance 25-05 was recently adopted, which imposed much stricter requirements on amusement devices, but it also involves much more back-end work by township staff in enforcing and administering those regulations. So we're requesting this change to make sure that there's cost recovery for the services we're providing in enforcing and administering this ordinance.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second. Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Busy.
You are busy. Next up is 4224 Kirkwood Road, minor lot consolidation plan. Mr. Breach.
Thank you, Mr. President. Provided with the agenda is a copy of the minor lot consolidation plan submitted for 4224 Kirkwood Road. The purpose of this plan is to consolidate 3 lots that are currently held under single ownership into a single 1.36 acre lot. This consolidation is necessary to eliminate the existing lot lines for the purpose of facilitating the construction of an accessory garage with associated grading and access improvements. This project is located in the R1 medium density residential zoning district in the 8th ward. Additionally, the applicant has requested a subdivision and land development ordinance waiver from section 22404 preliminary plan procedure. With that, I would just like to note that the installation of sidewalks are not required as a part of this plan in accordance with 22-1107.H of our subdivision and land development ordinance. So the only waiver being requested is from preliminary plan procedures. At their meeting on July 27th, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the plan and the waiver as requested, subject to the following conditions. The first one being that all comments from the Township staff memo dated August 5th, 2025 are addressed, and that the Township engineers memo, all comments from the Township engineers memo dated August 4th, 2025 are addressed, and that a copy of the approval letter from the County Conservation District is provided for erosion and sedimentation control approval. Mr. Whistler from R.J. Fisher, the project engineer, and Mr. Miller, the property owner, are also here if there are any questions for that. Thank you.
Okay. Let's get this in on the road. And is there a motion on the waivers, the waiver request?
Motion to approve the waiver.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Sorrell. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay. Next up is the plan itself with the 2 conditions that Mr. Breach outlined. Is there a comment? Is there a motion? Sorry.
Motion to approve the minor lot consolidation plan.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions by members of the board?
Mac, what is the, you mentioned because of a certain section, there wasn't a sidewalk waiver required. What does that section specifically say?
Sure, so it's 22-1107.H of our subdivision and land development ordinance, so I can read it into the record if you would like.
Yeah, if it's not too lengthy.
Sure. Notwithstanding anything in this section to the contrary, sidewalks shall not be required in single-lot residential developments of no more than 3 units or more than 75% of the property, both in number of and lots on the side to be developed and in frontage on the side to be developed between the closest intersecting streets has been developed without sidewalks, and where there are no sidewalks on the lots of either side of the lot to be developed, which would be applicable in this case. There's no sidewalk anywhere in that neighborhood at all.
Right.
And this is a minor lot consolidation plan.
8th Ward, there's no sidewalks in this whole development, but you're putting in garages in this area?
You want me to speak?
Yeah, please come over.
The neighbors know about this? I'm not gonna be getting phone calls tonight about it.
Good evening, Board.
Yeah.
My name's Andrew. I'm with RJ Fisher. I can't speak to the neighbors, but there exists a tennis court on the property now in the space he's planning to put the garage. We are reducing the impervious coverage on the property.
Okay.
Just accessory garage and a driveway.
Yeah, Commissioner, I think it'd be helpful to clarify that this is an accessory residential garage. It's just, I believe the homeowner has antique vehicles he stores there. This is not a commercial garage.
Okay,
It's purely a residential garage for
Very good.
residential property.
very good.
And we have that as, I believe, a general note on the plan.
Okay.
Same with the residential use as well.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I think that's all.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Right.
That's all we need.
Good job.
Appointments, staff reports. Township Manager Teresa Eberly.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to mention the hard work that Senator Patty Kim and Representative Justin Fleming have been doing recently to try to resolve the issue with the brown water with Viola. Viola has committed to having a series of public meetings to be held in our area, and I'm hopeful that one of them will be in our district. So there's a long list of the discussion that the senator and the representative had. It's on our website. So if you want to hear more about it, but the commitment is their customer service team and claims department are issuing credits for additional water usage, stained fabrics and so forth, and customers who are still experiencing issues are asked to contact the customer service office for Viola. Secondly, we held a special training for our staff to discuss special cybersecurity initiatives, and it's sponsored by Mid-Penn Bank. I think where there's some fantastic security tips that we all learned, and one of the takeaway is if you're signing checks, use a blue gel pen.
Gel pen, yes. Excellent presentation.
So, thank you, Mr. President. That ends my report.
May I ask, I was looking at the staff reports. I had a question relating to the stormwater staff report. Which one does that come under? Is that under you or Community and Economic Development, I guess? Because I want to raise my question at the right time. I was trying to figure out which one the stormwater one comes under.
Yeah, community development would be great.
I'm sorry?
You can ask it now if you'd like.
Oh, okay. On Kathleen's report on the top of page 2, it said there was a complaint received that there was earth disturbance on the lot to the rear of the complainant's property. The change degraded the land and is causing runoff to come onto our property. Inspection was completed and there was no grade changes were observed and the status was closed. I had a complaint from a resident in Edgemont. I didn't know if this was that property or is it a different property you were looking at?
You know? Thank you, Mac.
Commissioner, I'm not sure. I believe that property, it may or may not be in Edgemont. We've removed the property addresses with the complaints and violations from the reports based off of some guidance. I can certainly check with Kathleen tomorrow and have her reach out and make sure the one that you're looking at is.
Because if it's not, I would probably then raise about checking into the one that I had to see the status of it if it's not this one. That's
Sure.
great. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, that's it. Manager Eberly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's looking like we're going to have a thin or non-existent agenda for 2 weeks from now for the workshop. So unless there's an objection, I think we'll go ahead and cancel that. There's no objection? Okay, no meeting on the 28th. All right. Public safety, police, do you have anything else, Chief?
I don't, sir.
All right. Public Works, Todd, do you have anything?
Nothing right now, sir.
Thank you. Engineering?
Report has in my report, I'll just mention that paving is scheduled for tomorrow on the portion of Wood Street that is set to be paved, so there'll be some activity out there. There was some today as well. It seemed like everything went pretty well, so hopefully that stays the course for tomorrow.
I have two questions, if I may, on your report. On the Boyd Park, it said vegetative stabilization is expected to be achieved in spring 2025. And now, the report's August. Was it achieved? The way it's written,
Yeah, so it was achieved. However, there were some spots that the Conservation District wanted. So it's based on overall 70% of all the areas that were disturbed. It was generally stabilized. However, the Conservation District asked that the contractor reseed some areas that were not stabilized yet. So the contractor did do that, I believe in June. So we'll be scheduling a follow-up inspection with the Conservation District to see if it's established to the point where it's acceptable to them.
Oh, okay. That's good. Because when I read that, I wasn't sure what was it. And with the Boyd Park electrical improvements, it said that the rebidding, the bid opening was scheduled for July 31. I believe that did actually occur, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Because again, it was written in a way that, but I thought it did. And I just wanted to make sure it did. Okay, thank you.
Teresa?
Mr. President, I think, Chief, do you want to say something? Did you have something to add to the report?
On the fire?
Yes. That's one.
Good.
For the pay.
Yep. Thank you. Excuse me. Mr. President, Commissioners, and citizens, for the first half of this year, Susquehanna Township Fire Rescue Services responded to 915 calls for the year. For the first half of the year, that's a 13% increase in the overall call volume since the first quarter. Rescue Fire Company was dispatched 420 calls this year. Of those requests for double or triple pulls, 85 of those were for an engine in the rescue or an engine in the tanker. Progress has the same double pulls requests. Sometimes it's 2 engines, sometimes it's an engine in a truck. Of rescue's 420 calls this year, 70 of those were fails, no responses. 54 of those were results of being understaffed. Rescue presently averages 5.5 firefighters per call, and they presently have 1 live-in. They're looking at having another live-in in 2 weeks that we get from Public Works, which is good for us. Average response time for Rescue Fire Company is 2 minutes and 27 seconds, which is slightly better than it has been from last year. Progress Fire Company was dispatched 495 calls for the first half of this year. Of those calls, 135 calls were double or triple pull requests. Progress has failed 16 times, with 15 of those being for understaffing. Usually that's where they need a driver. Progress averages 8 firefighters per call. They presently have 7 live-ins, and the average response time is 1 minute 10 seconds. And that remains constant throughout each quarter as well as last year. Training hours. Training hours for Progress was 1,699 hours. Rescue was 520 hours. Staffing hours, that's when we have volunteer firefighters staffing the station and not responding from home. And that can be part of their training hours inside the station as well. Staffing hours for Progress was 21,337 hours. Rescue was 4,662 hours. So if you extrapolate that out, Progress Fire Company would have had, if we could have worked it right, would have had 5 firefighters round the clock in their station. Rescue would have had 1. This week, we found out, first off, thank you to Manager Everly for attending a portion of the Live-In Academy that Progress has. Spent time at Hack with everybody, seeing what the firefighters do. And today was the anniversary of you coming down, you and Commissioner then, Representative Fleming coming down as well a couple years back. This week we found out 3 firefighters from Progress Fire Company are being hired. They're losing their 3 live-ins. One's going to Charlotte, North Carolina Fire Department, one's going to Fairfax County, Virginia, and one is going to Montgomery County, Maryland. And 2 of our firefighters graduate from Harrisonburg, Virginia Fire Department. One is going back to be, it's a long commute, but the work schedule works. One's going to be a live-in back at Progress, and one is going to be temporary live-in at rescue fire companies. That concludes.
Wow.
Thank you.
What's going on? Thanks,
Yes.
George. Okay, Law Bureau.
It's tough to follow that, so I'll just pass. I have nothing.
Thank you. All right, new business. First up is the consent agenda. There are a number of items on there. We'll deal with them all at once. First, approve a statement of bills paid for July 31st. Approve reappointment of Brad Reese as the Emergency Management Coordinator for Susquehanna Township. Accept Craig Barkett's resignation as a probationary police officer. Next is HRG performed a final inspection of Roberts Valley Road, and based on observations, it was determined that no additional road damage has occurred as a result of the hauling activities for the lumber operation. As a result, HRG recommended approving the financial security release in the amount of $12,500 for the Roberts Valley Road timber hauling operations, R&J Logging Incorporated. Conditioned upon the applicant's reimbursement to the township of all associated costs and fees, including but not limited to engineering fees, legal fees, and administrative costs. Approved financial security adjustments number 9 for Stray Wind Farms, Phase 7, in the amount of $5,280 based upon observations of work completed by HRG. And financial security adjustments be adjusted to $3,300. Next is approved financial security adjustment number 6 to Stray Winds, Phase 8, in the amount of $28,600. Based upon observations of work completed, HRG recommend that the remaining financial security be released in full. Is there a motion to consider these and approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Sanderson, seconded by Commissioner Falona. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the grease trap variance for 2547 Brindle Drive, and the owner is LLC Threes Company Food and Beverage LLC. Manager Everly.
Thank you, Mr. President. Provided in the agenda is a copy of the request for a variance submitted by Capriotti's Sandwich Shop, which will be in the Susquehanna shops. They intend to operate a retail shop for preparation and sale of assorted sandwiches, fries, and salads. The township ordinance requirement of 1,000-gallon grease trap is asked to be waived and installed an 861-gallon grease interceptor. The Susquehanna Township Authority unanimously approved the variance request at its meeting on August 5th, subject to the property owner and the tenant entering into an MOU stipulating the conditions of approval, including that the use of the premise will not include other food activities or restaurant facilities.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Napper. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is skid steer purchase. Mr. Webb.
Good evening, Commissioners. Provided with the agenda is a memorandum and a quote for the purchase of a Kubota SVL 97 skid steer in the amount of $105,533.16, which includes the skid steer machine, brush cutter mower, 72-inch, which is 72 inches, and 72-inch auto rake, 84-inch bucket with a bolt-on cutting edge, a 78-inch bucket, 60-inch forks, and a pallet fork frame. The department currently has a 2007 Bobcat S220 skid steer that is in poor condition with over 1,000 engine hours on it. It is used routinely for milling and pavement, right-of-way mowing, MS4 projects, and loading dump trucks. The price is a CoStar's cost and includes a discount of $15,500 for the Bobcat skid steer trade-in. I will also say there is a budgeted amount of $100,000 for this. We demoed 3 different pieces of equipment. I let the equipment operators go out and pick 3, actually 4. We demoed 3. I let them pick what they thought was the best, the most functional, what's going to do us the best. And then we got that price. I will say late this afternoon I got an email from Clint Krieger. Travis Meese, Clint Krieger, and Joe Goff had met with the representative from Kubota and told them that we only had $100,000 budgeted, so the amount that you see will be reduced by $533.16, so it is not going to budget.
Good news. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Knapp. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Next up is to certify the civil service list.
Oh,
no.
gaming grant?
Did I miss one?
Yeah.
Gaming grant approval. Sorry, Silver Fox.
It's white.
Yeah, all right.
Platinum.
There's no black in that anymore.
Platinum.
Township intends to apply for local share funding to support a new fire engine. This project is important to our township and will benefit the Susquehanna Township Hollywood Casino corridor, giving the request more investment to a greater population. The township intends to apply for a grant of up to $500,000. The staff recommends supporting this grant. I put in for two fire engines to be ordered for 2026. They have 3 to 4 year delivery times on them. That's industry standard. So looking at a $500,000 request on a single fire engine that's $1.2 million, that represents about a 21% of the overall project of one engine. An apparatus that has a service life of 18 years would represent an investment of grant funds of $76.10 per day. If you extrapolate that out across 30,000 citizens that we protect over those 18 years, that's an investment of gaming grant money, if they invest in us, as well as the state grants that I put in for, of they're investing 1 penny a day, less than 1 penny a day for this fire apparatus. So that's my thought process behind it. It's been my thought process for some other federal grants that we've obtained. So that's why I'm respectfully asking the gaming grant to be more than the 150 that they recommend. Last year we asked for 150,000 and they gave us 175,000. So that is mine.
Okay, I'll move for approval of the gaming grant application to purchase a new fire engine at the requested amount of $500,000.
All right, so moved by Commissioner History.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barczyk. Comments or questions? So this will be submitted shortly. Do we have a timeline on the award announcements?
October 1st, we have a submittal. We find out March, April, correct?
Correct.
We cannot purchase it outright and then ask for reimbursement. However, if we had a loan, we could do debt reduction. We did debt reduction for the public safety building expansion in the past. So I think collectively we've made sure that we have avenues to go forward with.
And in my understanding of how this all works, like, when we had the one tonight, we approved, it was late, and there was a group that we had in July. That was from the public side where we support applications. This would be the township's application, basically requesting from the same funds.
The one for the church sidewalk was a co-applicant sponsored.
As a yeah, I made
Opposed
that,
to-
but we're approving it as a,
Right,
as
this
a
is
co-
us actually applying for it.
Yeah, but it's the same pot of money, but now this is from the township applying to grant.
Is there a matching requirement?
Yes.
I understand that, but, yeah.
All right, any other comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
You're not
Certified civil service list? Can we do that?
Very good.
Mr. President, I recommend that the board certify the civil service list that has Mr. Jackson Yannick certified, presented to you by the Civil Service Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Never.
Any comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I thought you'd jump in on that one, Fred. Okay, next up.
And I recommend to the board that we provide a conditional offer of employment to Mr. Jackson Yannick, conditioned on all MP OETC requirements.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Well, I did a great job on the Pledge of Allegiance tonight, so. Any comments or questions? Fred, do you have anything?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Uh,
Work on that pledge.
Right.
I'll watch you next time.
I got it. He's new.
All right, commissioner comments. Anybody have any comments? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn.
Before you do move, I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Please. This is, he no longer lives in Susquehanna Township. He used to live right across the road. Terry Wilson.
Thank you for your comments. I know you want to get out of here, and I don't blame you, but it's been an interesting meeting. As a member of Ridgeway Church and the chairman of the Stewards Commission, I want to thank you all for your endorsement of our application as a co-applicant. I wish you success with the fire engine. It's a high priority, I know. But whether we win or lose, in our application efforts, we want to say that we want to continue to cooperate with the township in various endeavors that we may see opportunities arise to work together to serve the benefits of the citizens of the township. So I thank you very much for that opportunity. Thank you again for that endorsement.
All right. Thanks, Gary. Say hi to Oliver.
Yeah, will do.
That's his grandson. All right. There's been a motion to move.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been seconded. Did we actually vote on it?
No.
Should I call the vote?
If you like.
Yeah, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're out of here.
Good night.